This morning, another sweeping action by President Trump as he remakes the federal government in his first full week in office.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Overnight, NBC News learning that the White House has ordered a freeze of federal aid starting at 5 p.m. today.
There is now a temporary hold on all programs related to DEI, the Green New Deal, and foreign aid assistance. Also, the president signed 4 executive orders focused on the military, which include eliminating diversity programs and setting in motion a potential future ban on transgender troops.
On the one hand, supporters of President Trump are out there saying, as you just showed in a clip, this was the point. We elected him to shake things up and to challenge the assumptions of Washington. But that's not what's happening. What's happening is that dollars that come from Washington to our communities, to our schools, to our senior centers, to our police departments and fire companies are being frozen so that money stays here in Washington so that Trump can spend it in expanded tax cuts later this year. That's exactly what they're discussing at the Doral Golf Resort in Florida right now, is how they can cut taxes further for wealthy individuals and profitable companies. And to do that, they want to stop spending on priorities that are already in the law that help children, help seniors, help keep us safe, and help make us strong.
What's up, everybody? Major Retired Richard Ojeda here. And just this week, Donald Trump did what he does best. He plunged the country into chaos. Without a shred of warning, his administration froze billions, perhaps trillions, in federal funds.
The memo says Social Security and Medicare will not be affected, and neither would payments directly from the government to individuals. But many Americans get federal funds on everything from loans to food aid to farm assistance indirectly. And it's unclear if those programs would be affected.
Schools, hospitals, disaster relief programs, food assistance, small businesses, senior centers, you name it. All gone in the blink of an eye. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer didn't hold back, calling it Project 2025 by another name.
President Trump plunged the country into chaos without a shred of warning. The Trump administration announced a halt to virtually all federal funds across the country. Every one of our offices has been deluged with calls from people who are in panic. What is this going to mean? What if I have a hospital that has people on life support? What are we going to do? And just like the January 6th pardons, this decision is lawless, dangerous, destructive, cruel.
And he's absolutely right. This isn't about budgets or fiscal responsibility. It's about cruelty, chaos, and consolidating power. This is a dagger aimed directly at the heart of every American family. From red states to blue states, in suburbs, cities, and rural towns, the people who rely on these programs, who rely on disaster relief to rebuild after hurricanes, who depend on SNAP benefits to feed their kids, who trust that rural hospitals will have the funding to stay open, have all been abandoned. And for what? So Trump can funnel money into tax cuts for his billionaire cronies.
Disaster assistance, local law enforcement, rural hospitals, aid to the elderly, food for people in need, all are on the chopping block in this new administration. Why? They need tax cuts for the ultra-wealthy, and these cuts, they think, will fund them.
This is the same playbook that we've seen time and time again from Donald Trump. It's not just incompetence or bad governance, it's deliberate. It's chaos by design. As CNN's Dana Bash puts it, chaos is what he wants. This spending freeze is about overwhelming the public, exhausting us to the point where we can't even process what's happening, let alone organize and resist against it. This isn't just about hurting Democrats. Let's be real. Trump is hitting his own base the hardest. These are the people who rallied behind him, who bought into the lies about protecting them, about bringing jobs back, about making America great again. And what's their reward? Losing the very programs that help them survive. Think about it. The same MAGA voters who complained about the price of eggs are now losing their SNAP benefits. They can't even afford eggs anymore, let alone the overpriced coffee they like to gripe about so often. The same voters who cheered when Trump promised to lower insulin costs are now watching as their mama's life-saving medication goes from $35 to $400 a month. The same people who screamed about immigration and illegals stealing jobs are now realizing that deporting farm workers means skyrocketing grocery prices. But of course, they'll find a way to blame immigrants or Democrats or anyone other than themselves for voting in this orange tyrant. Donald Trump has frozen the funds that keep hospitals running, that provide food to hungry children, that help small businesses get off the ground. He's done it with no warning, no accountability, and no plan for what comes next. As Schumer said, this is lawless, dangerous, destructive, and cruel. It's illegal, it's unconstitutional, and it's exactly what Trump and his administration want. Because chaos is the point. This isn't just a budget freeze, it's part of a larger strategy. A strategy to destabilize the government, overwhelm the public, and pave the way for the authoritarian nightmare laid out in Project 2025. This is the Heritage Foundation's playbook in action. They knew how unpopular Project 2025 was, so they're implementing it piece by piece under the radar. And at the center of it all is Russell Vought, the architect of Project 2025 and Trump's go-to guy for dismantling the federal government. Vought has openly admitted that his goal is to gut government spending at any cost, to leave federal employees in trauma, and now he's putting that plan into action. Here's the thing. This isn't incompetence. This is a deliberate tactic, one rooted in military strategy. As TikTok creator Raven, a veteran with military intelligence experience, explains, this is called shock and awe. It's a tactic designed to overwhelm and paralyze.
Shock and awe is a very real military tactic. It's what Hitler used, and it's what the Trump administration is using right now. Hi, my name is Raven. I'm going to tell you all about it and what you can do to avoid falling prey to this tactic. For those of you who don't know, I was originally in the Army as a 35 Papa cryptologic linguist, with my language being Arabic, working in signals intelligence for the Military Intelligence Corps. What happens is the person committing shock and awe gives you as much crazy, overwhelming information as possible as rapidly as they can. In Germany, it was called Blitzkrieg. This is exactly what they're doing right now with each new executive order. It's designed to overwhelm you and quite literally shock you. And if you know about shock, it usually paralyzes people. It is a common reaction for people to get paralyzed by shock. That is kind of the goal here, is that it's going to stop you from even being able to organize and mobilize within your local communities, to exercise your First Amendment rights, to protest and to march and to fight back against this regime takeover. That's exactly the goal.
What Trump is doing now, rapidly freezing funds, issuing chaotic executive orders, dismantling programs people rely on, isn't just reckless. It's calculated. As Raven explains, the goal of shock and awe is to flood people with so much chaos that they can't process it. They become paralyzed, unable to respond. This tactic isn't new. It's what Hitler used in Nazi Germany. It's what authoritarian regimes around the world have used to consolidate power. The idea is simple. Overwhelm the public to the point where they're too stunned to fight back. Desensitize them to the cruelty and chaos happening around them. Raven draws a chilling comparison to Nazi Germany. The people of Nazi Germany were so desensitized, so brainwashed, that they started reporting their own Jewish neighbors to the Gestapo as if it was their civic duty. They didn't feel empathy or guilt or any sense of moral responsibility. They were conditioned to see cruelty as normal, even patriotic. And isn't that exactly what we're seeing with MAGA today? These people have been so brainwashed by Fox News and Trump's propaganda that they've turned cruelty into a virtue. They cheer when immigrants are deported. They celebrate when LGBTQ rights are stripped away. They see themselves as patriots, even as they vote for policies that destroy their own communities. So how do we fight back? How do we resist this chaos, this shock and awe strategy designed to paralyze each and every one of us? First, as Raven says, don't engage with MAGA trolls. When they come into your comment sections spewing their nonsense, block them, report them, delete their comments. Don't give them the attention that they crave. These people are so desperate to be heard that they'll waste all of their energy creating new accounts and trolling anyone who disagrees with them. Don't feed into the trolls. Second, organize and resist. Spread awareness about what's happening. Talk to your friends, your neighbors, your coworkers. Share information about Project 2025, about the spending freeze, about the chaos that Donald Trump is creating. The more people that understand what's happening, the harder it is for Donald Trump to get away with this plan. Thirdly, yes, demand action from our leaders. Call your representatives, show up to town halls, demand that they hold Donald Trump accountable. As Chris Coons said, this isn't just wrong on policy, it's wrong on the law. We need immediate legal challenges. We need Democrats in Congress to step up and fight back. And yes, we need impeachment inquiries. Trump has already committed impeachable offenses. And if we let this go unchecked, it's only going to get worse. But here's the thing. Fighting back starts with refusing to be paralyzed. Trump's chaos is designed to make you feel helpless, to make you throw up your hands and give up. Do not let him win. This isn't just about politics. It's about survival. For the poor, the elderly, the disabled, the middle class, and yes, even the MAGA voters who thought that Donald Trump would protect them. He won't, and he never has. Donald Trump isn't just trying to destroy Democrats. He's trying to destroy America as we know it. And the sad thing is, the people who voted for him are going to suffer the most. They're going to lose their homes, their health care, their benefits. And when they do, they'll look around for someone to blame. But the truth is staring them right in their faces. Trump and his billionaire boys club don't care about you. They don't care about your family. They don't care about this country. They care about power, revenge, and lining their own pockets. This spending freeze is just the beginning. Project 2025 is the end game, but we still have time to fight back. Call your representatives, organize in your communities, and spread the word. Because if we don't, Trump's chaos will consume us all. And that's the last thing that this country can afford. And that is an absolute fact. Sappers clear the way, airborne all the way.